You're very welcome to our event this morning. My name is Linda Young. I'm a member of the School Liaison team here at TU Dublin, and I'd like to welcome you to our discussion this morning around a number of different subject areas in the built environment discipline. This morning, I have a number of students joining me across a variety of our programs. I also have Lorna and Audrey joining me from Geographic Science. So thank you all for joining me this morning. I'm going to start off straight away. We're going to dive straight in, and I'm going to come to you, Lorna. Lorna, I'm going to talk to you a little bit about auctioneering, valuation and a state agency. Can you tell me what type of student is suitable to study in this area?
Thanks, Linda.
Sure.
I think it's fair to say that all students, the usual area of property is that there's a place for both kind of creative students and also those students that may be mathematically focused. So the discipline has out the three program here, we will develop that other side for you. Again, in terms of personality, you know, there may be a presumption out there that you have to be a course like auctioneering. That wouldn't be the case. Throughout the three-year degree, we see, you know, we see a really broad spectrum of students across our programs within the real estate side of the school.
Okay. And what do you think about diversity in this area, Lorna? Is this program suitable for, you know, male and female students? Okay, I might just move on to our next panel member. We're having a little bit of trouble there with Lorna. Cara, you're very welcome to our panel this morning. And Cara, you're studying property economics. So Cara, as a student of property economics, can you tell me what attracted you to this area and what your experience at TU Dublin has been like?
So I actually hadn't a clue what I wanted to do in school. So I was kind of like a mixture of, I kind of liked some mathsy stuff, but I also really like creative stuff, so like art and things like that. So there wasn't really much that would cover both of them. And then I kind of went to career guidance, and they're like, you can do whatever you want because you're kind of average at everything. And I was like, does it really help? Because I don't know what I want to do.
Okay.
So they kind of gave me business courses, and then they threw property economics on at the end, and I wasn't interested in straight business. So property economics seemed a bit different, and I was like, sure, I'll go for it. Why not? And seemed like good job prospects at the end. So yeah.
Okay. And your interest, you know, how has your interest been in it since you've been studying away? Have you enjoyed it?
Oh yeah, I have absolutely loved the course. There's been so many opportunities during the whole course of the 4 years to get involved in extra stuff that pique your interest, and the modules are really broad, so they cover kind of like every area of property, which is super cool. So you're not defined to like a small path.
Okay, so you feel it's a broad, flexible type of a subject where you could go and work in lots of different areas.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, great. Audrey, I'm going to come to you. Now, Audrey, you're the program chair in our Geographic Science program here at TU Dublin. And I understand that over the last maybe 10 years or so, there has been lots of technological advancements in this area. Can you maybe talk to me a little bit about some of those and maybe our hopes for the future in terms of geographic science?
Sure, Linda. So Geographic Science, it's a technology-driven really course, and we tend to be early adopters of technology. So a lot of what you see now, we've been using for a number of years. So we would be heavily involved in sort of using data from drone imagery or from satellites. We use terrestrial laser scanning, And we produce models, basically three-dimensional models and mapping for use in a wide variety of areas. So if you consider the current time and COVID, and the maps that we all look at, they're based on what's known as the GeoHive, that's the Ordnance Survey database. And so we would feed into that background mapping. And also photography for mapping, and anything that has high tech involved, that's where we're directed. So the future is very positive for this area. So the whole geospatial industry is exploding. So it's a mixture really of IT, mapping, and sort of the management of large data sets. That's really the future direction.
And Audrey, just in terms of, the types of job prospects that students would have studying this program, I know that's always a very popular question. And for me, as I would talk to a lot of parents, etc., and they're always interested in that, as are the students, of course. Just in terms of job prospects in this area, how are they?
Well, the prospects are excellent. I mean, we have 100% employment in our course. We can't get enough people into the course to service the demands of industry at the moment. So students, graduates could end up in a number of different fields. A lot of our students are attracted to the course because it can allow them to work outdoors, or you can have a mixture of working outdoors and inside, or totally inside. So it's a variety of areas, from government positions, let's say Ordnance Survey, county councils, large engineering companies, survey companies, or data analytics companies, where you're managing and analyzing large data sets based on mapping information. So the students, the graduates, can work worldwide, so it's internationally recognized, and they can travel the world on the basis of this degree. So it's very, very sought after.
Sounds like it's, there's lots going on in that area, and it would be of interest to a lot of young people these days to be working with lots of those technologies, and particularly if you're the type of student that likes to have the option to work both indoors and outdoors. I know that's very, very attractive to a lot of young people. Ryan, you're studying Geographic Science at the moment. You're enjoying it?
Yeah, no, I'm loving the course so far. It's been quite an experience. As to build on Audrey's point, the mixture of working indoors and outdoors is a great balance of life, because I know a lot of jobs in the future, they're very 9 to 5 desk jobs, but having the opportunity to go outside and work in the field, whether it be like surveying or laser scanning, it's really refreshing and something new.
Yeah. And Ryan, you're just about to go on work experience. How are you feeling about that?
I'm really excited. I'm really excited for work experience. We had a CV clinic within our course with some TUD like CV people, and what they did was prepare our CVs for, as you can imagine, work experience. So it's actually secured me a job in Jones Engineering, which are like one of the biggest engineering companies in Ireland. So I'm really excited to get into it and just to learn as much as I can in terms of the 3D modeling, as Audrey was mentioning earlier. I'm really looking forward to just seeing how this process works. And a great example of 3D modeling would be, if you remember last year when the Notre Dame burnt down in France.
Right. Yeah.
The French government were looking for data of how this was built, and there's actually a company, Ubisoft, where basically they're a video game company, and within the company they built a game where they had a 1-to-1 scale of the Notre Dame, and it was done using laser scanning, which is what we learned in the course. So they provided this information to the French government, and it just shows there's so many different industries this course can go into. You could even go into a gaming industry in terms of 3D modeling and making the environments for people to play games in.
Okay, sounds amazing. And I think talking about diversity of careers that you can go into. I know for a lot of young people now who are coming into third level and thinking about their future, there's a lot of jobs out there that aren't even invented and that they will go into in the future. So to have a program that diversifies across so many different areas, like many of the programs do, is absolutely amazing. So thank you, Ryan. Keith, I'm coming to yourself now. So Keith, you're a student of construction management and you're in your 4th year, Keith. So you're nearly there. You're really looking forward to getting to the end of that. So your 4th year, you did your work placement last year, Keith. Can you tell us a little bit about that, what the experience was like and how you feel that it's given you value now going out into the working world?
Yeah, so definitely I'd say that working on site, I was working with CISC up in the new Grange Gorman, just working as a site engineer up there for 6 months.
Okay.
And without a doubt, like the stuff you learn out on work placement or working on site, it's uncomparable to what you can learn in college, and it all reinforces itself. So what you learn on site will help you, like helps me a lot with what I'm studying now.
Okay.
And it's just really beneficial to anyone. Like if it was optional, I would have loved to stay on work placements. And I know career options are definitely there, because a lot of the lads from my course did stay on and are like currently still working with the contractors that they were with.
Yeah. And I know that's a big feature in TU Dublin that, you know, as part of the offering at TU Dublin, we do like to have that work placement where possible and allow students to go out and get that valuable experience. And I do know that because we're in contact with so many employers and the students get that first-hand opportunity, that a lot of students will actually go back to their work placement employers. So what are you hoping to do now, Keith, when you come to the end of your degree? The area you're hoping to work in?
Big plan is to hopefully travel with the degree. I'd like to go elsewhere for a while, but it'll be an internationally recognized degree. So I'd say wherever I go, I could work as a site engineer or a manager or something. Like the course is so broad, like you can study anything from like legal studies to like quantity surveying or sustainability. So like the opportunities are endless once you get out there.
Yeah, and I suppose that's a real feature with a lot of our management degrees at TU Dublin, that you're getting a big discipline, you know, you're learning all about the discipline, but you're also then learning a core set of skills that are really going to be valuable through all, you know, through your career. All of those management skills will really stand to you. And you have a university degree now, which is world recognized. So actually one of the biggest universities in Germany is a TU. So, you know, they're really featured in Australia, New Zealand. So who knows, Keith, maybe you'll end up down there, building the other side of the world. But obviously we'd love to have you back here in Dublin, working on Grange Gorman. So lots of opportunities with some really big employers. Have you got your eye on any of those employers, Keith?
Nothing at the minute. I was working with CISC when I was in Grange Gorman, and they were very good when I was there. So if the opportunity arose for me to go back to work with them, I'd 100% jump at it.
Yeah, 100% jump at it. Great, well done, Keith. Ronan, I'm talking to you next, and I'd like to talk to you about your course, which is quantity surveying. And Ronan, I think at this stage now, you've been through a couple of years of your program. I'd like to know what you think are the personality traits or the qualities of a really good quantity surveyor.
I'd say there's probably many qualities that are needed for sure. Attention to detail would be one of them, because you'll be working with drones the whole time and getting quantities off the drones and working with such different projects. So definitely attention to that. Good organization skills is probably a big one, because you could be maybe getting quantities of lots of different jobs, and then they're all coming back to you at once. You know, you might be getting prices back from suppliers and stuff like that there. So that's an important one. And then I'd say a really important one as well is negotiating skills, because you're trying to negotiate a price maybe with another QS too. So it's kind of going back and forward with the QS, and talking from QSs that are done the course, you meet a lot of people that you went to college with at the other side of the phone call. So I'm sure that'll be exciting maybe in a few years. And then obviously teamwork skills. you can be a part of a big team. So you don't want to be falling out with anyone on site maybe, and you're in the office. So you want to keep good teamwork skills around it. So yeah, like I've actually been working with a construction company for 2 years now as well with the course. So it's good to be able to see that firsthand.
Okay, yeah, I think there's some really important skills, and I know a lot of students, as they're coming into third level, they'll often be thinking, or they'll often, should I say, be thinking about the type of course that they want to study. But realistically, they mightn't be really thinking about the kind of skills that they're going to gain, the kind of things that they're going to learn as part of that course. And I think that's really good to understand that, you know, you'll have really strong negotiation skills and you'll be taught how to do all of that. And, you know, obviously, if you're the type of person that likes planning and being organized, they're really good qualities for a quantity surveyor. But again, you'll definitely need those teamwork qualities if you're going to work as a successful quantity surveyor. And I suppose, Ronan, there's a few different areas that you can go to work in as a quantity surveyor. I mean, maybe some big companies or some smaller ones. Have you any thoughts about what you might do yourself?
Yeah, so currently I work with like a smaller contractor. They're based with, they're like a carpentry company. So we do mostly carpentry tenders, and dry lining would be the most. So yeah, this course like is pretty much 100% like employment rate. Like there's so many different fields that you can get contacted in, and like that's I'd recommend if anyone like to get LinkedIn straight away and start building your portfolio up on LinkedIn, because you're going to be contacted weekly with jobs. So it's very important. But no, I love where I am at the moment, and so I'll go from there.
And you're really enjoying it. Well, I think that's
exactly. No, I love where.
I think that's some really valuable advice that you've given there, and the fact that you can work in so many different industries as well is amazing. So thank you, Ronan. I'm going to come to Claire now. So Claire, you're studying planning and environmental management, and I suppose just to touch slightly on what's happened this year in terms of COVID. I suppose one of the real parameters, or one of the real pieces of our mission at TU Dublin is very much around sustainability. And this year we've made a decision not to print a prospectus, you know, in line with that. And that was a big decision for us at TU Dublin. So we're looking to the future definitely in terms of sustainability, and also in terms of COVID and everything that's happened this year. Just in terms of your course, Claire, you know, planning and environmental management, how do you think maybe what's happened this year and all of the, you know, sustainability goals going forward feed into what you're learning and what you hope to do in the future?
Yeah, before I go on to that, I'd just like to thank you for organising this event. I know when I went to my open day last year, it was very overwhelming. There was hundreds of people. So this is a great opportunity for incoming students to really get focused information and really good advice. So yeah, just what you were saying there, definitely COVID is going to affect how we plan in the future, but I don't necessarily think that's a negative thing. I think it can be a very positive thing. I'm from Clare myself, and in Ennis, the main street there was very crowded, and now it's been pedestrianised, so you can walk on the street where the road normally was, and it's much nicer. So that would be one thing that our course would focus in on. And there are other projects like the COVID mobility, the coastal mobility route from Dunleary to Sandy Cove, that's going in there. So that was something that, you know, it's very important in sustainability, and with COVID, that's kind of pushed that forward, and it's really kind of made it important these days because everyone's getting out, everyone wants to go for their walk or their cycle. So that's also sustainable. So looking at our course, I'm in spatial planning. There's two streams, environmental and spatial planning, but they work very closely. So for planning, it's looking at infrastructure for cycling and pedestrians, looking at green areas, and improving public transport. And then for environmental, you'd be looking at conservation of protected areas and animals, and water and soil quality, and of course the big buzzword climate change. That's a major thing in both aspects of the course, to be honest. Yeah.
Okay, so Claire, it sounds like a lot of the work that you're doing is really impacting on people's lifestyles and, you know, the future of Ireland. I think that's something that might be very satisfying. Is that what you would feel in terms of studying in this program?
Definitely. So we're always told planning is for the future, and we're planning for future generations, and that's a really exciting thing. You know, it's we could be planning things that are coming in. It's all new. You know, it's all new. And as well with with the environmental program, you're protecting what's already there for future generations. So our program is really based on the future and protecting it and making it, I suppose, better. You know, planning it to be better.
Yeah, no, it sounds really interesting. And I know, as I said, I'm a school liaison. I talk to parents, I talk to students every day of the week. And so many students are interested just in making the future a better place for people to live. This sounds like something, realistically, all of the programs that we've spoken about here this afternoon sound like they're really having a hand in that. And you know, that's something amazing. I think what we'll do now is I might just talk to you students maybe a little bit about your experience at TU Dublin, because I suppose one of the things that's happening at the moment is a lot of students are thinking about the type of course that they want to do, but they're also thinking about, will I fit in? What are the types of things that go on in college? Because while the course is really, really important to them, also the likes of the whole experience at college, you know, is something that's really interesting. So I might start off with Ryan. Ryan, you mentioned there a little bit earlier that you've done a CV clinic at TU Dublin. Can you talk to me maybe about the experience of that and how you felt that helped you using our career service?
Using the career service for like TU Dublin has been really helpful for my personal development and as well for everyone in my class and my course. It's just been such a help having as a professional come in, show us exactly what employers are looking for in terms of our course and giving us past CVs as well, literally preparing us all and getting us 100% employment, which has been so helpful.
Yeah, so that was a service that you tapped into. And I know at TU Dublin we have an extensive range of services, from free health centre to our counselling service, which is also free to students. We have our academic writing centre, we have our maths learning centre. You know, a lot of students will tap into that maths learning centre and the academic writing centre early on to kind of get a good foot on the ground going through college. Just in terms of the social aspect then, Cara, I might ask you this. Is there much social stuff available at TU Dublin?
Oh yeah, like there's so many clubs and societies that you're able to join. So I would have been a big member of the sailing club since first year, and then I actually did swim team for I think first, second and third year. And like having those outside of college is so nice to meet other people from other courses. And like obviously I would have been based in Bolton Street, and it was a chance to meet people from Kevin Street and Ainger Street. So that was really nice, and being able to go out and see other people and do stuff on the weekends as well was really, really great to do.
Yeah, and I think it's really nice, I suppose, to feel a part of something in college, and you're meeting people that aren't in your course, and you know, you're getting friends outside your course and you're getting to know them. And I know, guys, that there's actually over 160 clubs and societies at TU Dublin, so actually lots on offer, and any students can join any. And across all of our campus locations, our 3 campus locations, students can come and go, and they can have a go at whatever they would like. Claire, I might come to you again. What advice would you give to students who are, you know, starting first year next year? What would your best piece of advice be?
So I'm in second year myself, so I've literally just gone through that. And I'd say the most important thing, I was from Clare, I moved up to Dublin, a completely new place. I hadn't any of my friends with me or anything. It's really important to, like Cara was saying, societies, they are the best thing to meet new people outside your course. And as well, go to classes. You know, classes aren't just for learning. You're sitting beside someone, you're talking during breaks in the classes. You know, this is where you meet people. If you don't go to the class, not only will you not learn the stuff, but you won't meet the people, you won't be able to interact with your classmates. And that's really, really important. So I'd say just interact in your classes, ask questions, you know, group work, talk to people, you know, meet up outside of college, talk about it, talk about other things, you know, it's a great way to meet new people, I'd say. Yeah.
And I think that's really valuable advice. Go to class. I mean, I can't stress enough. You know, obviously we will have a lot of information on students who are successful, and you know how they go successfully through college. And the main indicator is how often they attend class. So guys, I can't stress enough to you. Get in, get working straight away, hit the ground running. There's lots to enjoy in college, but the academic work is there as well. So Claire, I think that is really excellent and very valuable advice for any students listening in today. Keith, I want to ask you a question. Did you find college very different to school, and what do you think maybe was the most different thing?
The opportunities for socializing. So everyone obviously in school is from your area, so there's not really too much going on, but getting to meet people from, like, most of my course aren't from Dublin. A lot of them travel up or live up here during the week. So just getting to meet people from different societies, different courses, different counties, it's just a lot more interesting.
Okay. And did you find, Keith, that when you started, the whole piece around having to do exams at Christmas and assignments and stuff and deadlines was a little bit tricky to navigate?
I'd say initially, yeah. In first year, just kind of coming to grips with everything and getting used to how everything runs. But after like semester 1, semester 2, and then you're going into second year, like the time flies, and it's doesn't really change too much. Once you get the hang of like academic writing and stuff like that, you'll be fine. I wouldn't worry too much about it.
So would you say that a good piece of advice to students is kind of just to get stuck in first year and to really, you know, get stuck into the work as well as get stuck into whatever else is on offer?
Yeah, it's obviously very important to like get the head down, like hit the books, do your work. But like, especially for myself, what I found, I only really started joining societies in third year, and that just like realizing then what I've missed in first and second year. Like, I kind of wished I had joined like the surfing society or kayaking back then, but
right, okay.
It is what it is.
And that's what you're part of, Keith, is it surfing and kayaking?
Yeah, mostly the surfing now, okay. No trips.
Say that's good fun now.
It is, yeah.
Yeah, okay. But cold.
Cold,
Ronan, I'm going to finish off with you. What would you say is your favourite thing about college, Ronan?
Definitely, my personally, just even just being a second year, just the kind of friends you make from it, for sure. Like the different groups, so like you're just meeting people from different parts of the country, and everyone has the same goal at the end of the 4 years. But it's nice to see everyone's different backgrounds, and like we have people from like different countries in our course as well, like just to get their cultures and stuff like that there. So it's one of my favorite parts for sure.
Yeah, I think that's actually a really lovely part of college, the fact that you get to meet such a broad and diverse range of people. I might come back to you, Lorna, just in terms of your question. We had a little bit of trouble there at the start. You might tell us a little bit about auctioneering and valuation and a state agency again, Lorna, just in terms of who you feel the programme is suited to.
Thanks, Linda. Hopefully this will go a bit smoother this time. Generally, for any of our property studies, so we've the auctioneering, valuation and estate agency, which is our level 7 3-year ordinary level degree, and then we've our 4-year property economics degree. So for students on both of those programs, you find there's a wide variety of personalities and a wide variety of skill sets. I think the beauty about property is that there's the technical side around the valuation and the asset management side, but there's also the more social side around the agency, the sales and the letting. So I think you find both those components evident in the students. So there's a place for everybody, certainly in terms of their natural characteristics on our programs.
Okay. And would you say it's a diverse area in terms of male and female, students coming in to study?
It's not as diverse as I'd like it to be blunt. I still, obviously as female myself and a graduate of both of our wrote auctioneering and property economics many moons ago. I don't really understand, to be honest, why there aren't more women involved. It's not to say that there isn't a good representation of females on the course, but it certainly isn't 50-50. And if you actually look at most of the large property companies that are operating in Ireland at director level, there's females holding those positions. So there seems to be a little bit of a disconnect. So certainly there's room for both male and females in the industry and obviously within the program. And I think that that's something for possibly female students that are watching this to be mindful of, that there's great opportunities out there. There's great career opportunities and flexible career opportunities for both the male and females.
I think what's also kind of very nice about this is, as you mentioned, Lorna, it's another one of those careers where you can be office-based, you can be out on the road as well, and there's, you know, you're meeting people, you're getting to talk to different people. It's enjoyable in that sense that there is something different going on every day.
Genuinely in practice, and I think in fairness in the degrees as well, there's no 2 days the same. Yeah. And because you know, when you complete the degree and you go out to work, there's so many options in terms of whether you work as an agent, a valuer, property manager, and there's so many roads that you can go down. That means that you meet lots of interesting characters and you get access into lots of interesting buildings and properties.
Well, I'd like to thank you very much, and I'd like to thank our panel of students today and of our lecturers. We're delighted to have you here to give an overview of what it's like to study in the various different discipline areas within built environment. I've enjoyed talking to you this morning. I hope that everybody who's watching in has enjoyed watching. I would encourage you to follow up on this by going to our CAO hub, tudublin.ie/CAO. You can select the option built environment and you can have a look at the various programs that we've spoken about today. You can get the real detail in there. You can also see some video clips about the programs. You can also talk to our lecturing staff on Pubble who are here till about 2:30 this afternoon. So thank you very much for joining us, and we'll see you hopefully next September. Bye-bye.